You have a lot of people, it seems, on the outside who were in your corner, including people overseas who were advocating on your behalf to get out of prison. How does that make you feel, and how did you connect with all those people?
I kind of one day, I met a friend, Wendy Alsford, and I just kind of gave her my record, and they put it online, and from there, the garden grew. It just, people was actually seeing the story for what it was, and it just grew. It just, many people, a lot of disappointed people.
Have you had much contact with any of those folks since your clemency decision came down?
Well, I'm starting to write them and let them know where I'm at. But everybody gonna stay intact. We're gonna stay intact. We're gonna fight this. It's not over until it's over.
If I were in your shoes, I'd be pretty mad right now. How do you cope with that anger?
Anger is a wasted emotion. I just need to keep my head about this, and hopefully something will happen. If it don't, well, ain't much I can do about it.
How do you cope in prison? What do you do to keep yourself busy? What do you do to keep your mind off of that?
Right now, I spend all day long doing my emails and writing my letters. Just trying to bring everybody to one place where I'm at right now. And I'm basically just staying out the way, that's all. Let my lawyers and everybody do their work, and I have to be okay. I have to keep focused, that's all.
It's got to be strange being not in death row anymore, though. I mean, you're not in shackles. Last couple of these I've done, the guys come in shackles. There's guards standing here while I'm talking to them.
That was funny. That was funny because just today I was coming from the library. I went over to the library and I walked right past my pod. I didn't even know it, so I got to get used to that. I got to figure out where everything's at. Now I'll be okay.
You meditate? That's what
Yeah.
What is that all about?
Well, one of my Buddhist friends in Heisley, he wrote me years ago. He the one head my campaign. He just, I like what he was about, and once I started reading about it, I just joined the team. That's all, and it keeps me at peace. It keeps me quiet.
If you could think back to when you were a kid, or even before this happened, did you ever think about the death penalty? Did you have a position on the death penalty back then?
Until I got convicted, or until I was facing this, I had no idea we even had a death penalty.
Really?
Mm.
So it obviously wasn't a deterrent.
Mm. I've never been in prison. I've been to jail, but I've never been in prison. So I ain't had no concept of what was around that. When they said death row, I'm saying, what, they finna kill me? I had no idea I was gonna spend 31 years of my life there and then end up here with basically a brand new sentence. It's like he started this off day one again. And that ain't okay.
What do you think about the death penalty now?
They need to get rid of it. Our last execution was botched. Oklahoma just had a botched one. This ain't justice. No way it's justice. They actually murdering people. They call murderers murderers. What do you call them? They murdering people. They suffocating them. They coming up with drugs that they never even used on an animal. And they murdering us. Well, murdering them now because I'm basically safe from that. So, but they need to get rid of it. They need to stop this.
What do you say to the people who are out there who say the people that we're executing, they did heinous things to these people, they deserve to die too. What do you say to them?
Who are you to judge a man with life and death? Isn't that God's job? They got places like this where they put people for the rest of their life. If you feel they're that bad and you judge them that bad, then put them in prison for the rest of their life. Why are you murdering them? That's not okay. And somebody gonna have to pay for it one day. Because that's murder. It's just outright murder.
Is being in jail for a lifetime worse than the death penalty?
Of course it is. I just did 31 years. I'm gonna live another 31 years. It ain't okay.
Do you read newspapers? Do you have access to newspapers or anything like that?
I have access to it, but I don't.
Okay, but you are aware of what happened in Oklahoma. You're aware of what happened.
And that was horrible. Just the one in Ohio was just as horrible. And that's not the only place it's happening. That's just the only places it's been reported. They murdering people all over.
You have any advice or a message to kids out there who may be going down the path that maybe you were going down when you were a teenager? Or?
I had a whole lot of advice for them. Had I got freed like I thought I was going to be.
Yeah.
You just gotta stay right. You can't go left. You gotta stay right. You gotta stay out of what you think is, because it's nothing but an illusion. And this is what happens to you when you follow that illusion.
The other clemency cases, death penalty cases I've covered, there's always stuff in the parole board hearing about what the inmate intends to do if they get clemency. Now, I know you had your eye on getting out. You're here now. What do you do? I mean, what positive things do you do going forward from here?
I have to figure that one out. I would like to work with the kids, but I don't think they let kids come in here no more, like scare straight programs or whatever. And then that's not working anyway. I need to ground myself and just figure out what I can do. That's all.
Were there? I know, at least in what I read of the interview with the parole board, you said there wasn't the programming in Chillicothe.
None.
For inmates. So
none.
You were just
all
sitting.
you do just sit there.
What kind of programming did you do before you got to Chillicothe? Because you were in 3 other places, right?
Yeah, school, community college. I was a tutor. I worked at legal service. I read books on the tapes for the blind. There's a lot to do. It kept me busy. It kept the time rolling. That's why, I just did 31 years. So.
You were a barber? You've been a barber in prison?
Barber, porter, kitchen worker, tutor. Been in all the AA programs, the anger management programs, community service. I stayed busy. Chillicothe, and that's not a good prison either. I want to put that on the record. Chillicothe is a bad prison for death row. It's bad.
I know it's going to be a difficult question to answer, but if you were outside right now, what would you be doing? How would your life be different?
I'd be free. I'd be able to do what I want to do with the kids. I'd be able to be around my grandbabies. And I'd just sit back and relax and enjoy life. And I'm still trying to make that happen if I can.
How much family do you have on the outside right now? Do you have a sister still?
My sister, Francine. It's my heart. Everybody else passed away.
You're closer to her here, right? Is she up in Cleveland?
About an hour away,
Okay.
yeah.
Did you?
She was with me the whole time. Lucasville, Chillicothe, she was with me the whole time, so she don't mind traveling to see me.
Do you have kids?
Yeah.
How many kids?
2.
And you have grandkids too now?
2 grandkids. Well, 3 grandkids.
3 grandkids. Are you in contact with all of them?
Not really.
Not really.
Everything I do with my sister.
If you could say anything to Governor Kasich right now, what would you say to him directly?
Dude, why you do this? Had no reason to. That's my last hope of him fixing this. And he didn't. He dropped the ball like everybody else did.
covers what I had. What else you want people to know about you?
Just, if you ever get a chance, all my records are online, everything from the very first police report to the governor's so-called clemency. Just go look at it. You figure it out for yourself. I don't have to tell you I'm innocent. Just go look at it, and you'll see it. And hopefully something can be done about it.
What's your understanding of what happens next legally? I mean, am I not understanding this correctly? Can you apply for parole again or clemency again?
That's what I'm checking into now. I would like to be able to, but see, this hinges on right now the fact that I never should have been on death row in the first place. Back in 1985, they had a law where if your jury didn't unanimously agree, they had to go to the 20 or the 30. You couldn't get the death penalty no more. My judge made a mistake and sent the jury back in and forced them to bring out the death penalty. Never should have been here in the first place. And right now, that's the issue we got in court, because I took it all the way through the courts, but the federal court just failed to answer it. And they kind of blaming me for my lawyers not getting an answer. Mm-hmm. So that's where we are now. We're in the court, seeing if they'll let me refile it. And that would kind of trump the governor's decision, because I never should have been here in the first place.
What do you have any advice for other people who are facing the death penalty about their legal representation? Because it sounds like, I mean, you went into this, you didn't know there was a death penalty. I assume you didn't understand the legal process back when you were 23, 24, 25. Mm-hmm. What do you tell to somebody who's facing that? Do you have any advice for them?
Don't do what it takes to face this. Just stay clean, stay out the way. Nothing in the world worth this. Nothing. Nothing you can do, nothing you can gain.
That's what I've got for you. Anything else you want to say?
Just
anybody out there? Anyone to talk to? Anything?
I want to talk to everybody. Help, please, help.
How many people write you on a regular basis? Do you have a lot of people writing you?
I can get 100 letters in a week.
Can you really?
Mm-hmm.
That seems pretty amazing. How do you hook up with that many people in here?
It took 31 years to hook up with them, but you know, when people get to reading your story, they see what it is, and you got good people out there. I used to think that, you know, this whole American system was against me because you let me come to death row when I shouldn't have been here, but people showed me different, you know, and that's what kind of changed me, the people that I met along the way. I got really good people in my corner, and I'm pretty sure they're going to stay there until this is over with.
Can I take your picture? Is that all right? Take a few to make sure I get a good one. Okay. That's what I have. Is there anything else you want to say?
Just thank you, because this hopefully is the start of many of these. Because I'm not gonna go quiet here. I'm not just gonna lay back and let it happen. We're gonna fight and see what we can come up with.
You had a lot of people wanting to interview you before the clemency decision, didn't you? Does anybody ask? Am I the only one at this point?
Well, you won the lottery, so. Because that's what they do now, lottery. You run like, but I know you was thinking that it was going to go the other way.
Yeah.
But we knew all the time it wasn't going to be about death. This fight was actually for life without parole or freedom. And he chose life without parole.
Okay. Arthur, nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Take care.
If you want to come down for one, I'll let you. Thank you.
Okay, take care.
Good luck.